Well, it appears we have a major spoiler for Beyond the Spider-Verse via an official source, the Across the Spider-Verse art book. Let's dive into what was revealed in the book and why it's likely to play big in the upcoming sequel. Well, whenever it's released. Well, a new image from Across the Spider-Verse art book has been shared online, and the description appears to change everything about those final moments of the recent film. Now, needless to say, this is major spoilers, so if you don't want a big aspect of Beyond the Spider-Verse revealed, I would click away now, because honestly, this is a big one. Now, at the end of Across the Spider-Verse, we get the massive reveal that Miles Morales actually returned to an alternate timeline when he was attempting to get back to his own. And in this reality, Miles lost his father instead of his uncle and became the Prowler instead of Spider-Man. Now, at the end of the film, Miles is captured by his Uncle Aaron and the Prowler, just as Miguel O'Hara and the other spiders are arriving on Earth-42. His dark counterpart actually asks him to let him go so he can save his father, to which he replies, "Why would I do that?" As the film ended, the general assumption is this version of Miles Morales is a villain, and this world's Prowler, who is also typically a villain in Marvel Comics. But then we gotta look at this picture. Now, the picture itself doesn't reveal too much, but does give us a look at what this Miles looks like suited up. But the description is where the interesting things come out. It reads, Miles G. Morales, the Prowler, is an alternate version of Miles who grew up differently from him. This version of the character has never been bitten by a radioactive spider and doesn't have superpowers, but has fallen into the role of becoming the vigilante, the Prowler, under the tutelage of his Uncle Aaron. The fact that they called this version of the Prowler a vigilante suggests that he and his Uncle Aaron are not criminals, but actually fight crime on this world. This suggests to me that this version of Miles will actually be aiding our version of Miles in the final battle verse Spider-Man 2099 in the upcoming Beyond the Spider-Verse. Now, this is quite a twist on the Prowler as a character, and honestly, I love it. It totally speaks to Miles' character on the inside. A lot of these versions of characters in the multiverse really do have a very similar heart, and they're shaped by their experiences. This version of Miles Morales is no different. It would take a whole bunch to drive Miles completely to the, quote, dark side. But if you're a fan of comics, you know it only takes a tiny bit of family tragedy to drive people to a darker form of vigilantism. Now, honestly, I don't know if this was a slip-up by the producers of the art book or something Marvel and Sony wanted everybody to know before the new movie comes out, but I think it's going to factor massively into the upcoming sequel. Now, when we finally get to see that sequel, that's the big question. The movie's still slated to be released next March, but every bit of news that we are hearing is that it's very early in production, and that is extremely unlikely. Also, given some of the strikes going on right now, I really see no way we're going to see this film in March, and we're likely going to be waiting 1 or 2 years. But we're going to have to wait and see.